In Niger Republic, several terrorists have been released from detention, including members of Boko Haram. A presidential source says these releases are the first of their kind, that they have been publicly disclosed as part of the search for and restoration of peace in the West African country. State media reported on Saturday that President Mohamed Bazoum made the announcement on Friday during a meeting on the country's security situation. The meeting was attended by military and government officials and traditional leaders. Joining us now on the news to take a look at this further is Janine Ella Abatan, the Senior Researcher, Institute for Security Studies. Thank you so much, Janine, for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, Janine, what do we make of the release of these prisoners by the government of Niger Republic?
So the announcement, like you already said, was made on Friday during the meeting on the security situation in Niger. And according to Niger President Mohamed Bazoum, this is an attempt at reconciliation, but also an attempt at bringing peace in a country that has been facing multiple fronts of insecurity, not only in the southeast, but also the southwest and the north bordering Libya.
Right. Janine, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can hear you. And now, we understand that the government said these releases are part of the search for peace in the country. But is this plausible?
Yes, I think it's very plausible, and I already talked about it during the first answer. Niger is actually facing insecurity on many fronts. I talk about the southwest with group affiliated with Al Qaeda, but also the Islamic State in the region of Tilaberi. Then when you go to the southeast of Niger, the region of Difa, you have an insurgency that has been going on for more than a decade by different Boko Haram affiliates. And then in the northern part, you have the insecurity with Libya. And on the humanitarian front, for example, you have more than 3.6 million people. So that represents roughly 15% of Niger population that is in need of humanitarian assistance. So I think this attempt or this discussion led by Niger official is an attempt to explore other solutions, to explore alternative solutions beyond the military solution that has been prioritized for such a long time. To bring peace to the country, but also to reduce the pressure not only on population, but also on Niger military forces.
Okay, so that means we acknowledge that overcrowding could also be a problem as opposed to just the quest for peace.
I think, yeah, Niger, both prison, the prison of Kolo, but also the prison of Kutukale has been facing overcrowding for some time, and this is also the case in many prisons in the region, right? But I think this really should be analyzed rather within the framework of the ongoing discussion led by Niger authorities and at a higher level, right, by the Niger president himself with different terrorist groups. So it's possible that might be that overcrowding might be a reason among others, but I think we should look at this within the framework of this ongoing discussion between the government and different groups.
Okay, now, Janine, we also know that the threat for radicalization for common criminals is real, while the risk of recurrences of terrorist acts is considerable unless adequate reintegration and radicalization prevention measures are made available to institutions. Now, is the government of Niger Republic planning on de-radicalization of these released prisoners?
This is a possibility. Niger has an experience, a DDR experience. If you recall, already in 2016, the government of Niger called Boko Haram members to leave the group in order to benefit from amnesty, but also from a disarmament, demobilization, and rehabilitation program. And the Niger government created in the region of Difa a center called the Goudou Maria Center. And this center has already welcomed more than 300 ex-Boko Haram associates who benefited from a DDR process. So the government already has, the state, the Nigerian state already has a DDR experience. They have used this also. They use dialogue or different type of of discussion with different rebel groups in the past. So I think this is an experience that they should tap into, learn lessons from what they have done in the past regarding rebel group, but also regarding Boko Haram, in order to ensure the successful reintegration of Boko Haram members or members of violent extremist group that they are releasing within the framework of this ongoing discussion. And these efforts should also be guided, right, by community consultation to ensure ownership, like you say, to prevent recidivism in the future.
Okay. Janine, is there any other development that we probably should know as regards this action in Niger Republic?
I think something that we should look out to is the key role that the High Authority of Peace Building will be playing within this process, because that is the state agency that has been in charge of engaging with different groups, rebellion in the past, but now with also violent extremist group. They were the one that were put in charge of running the DDR process in the DIFA region. So I think the role that they will be playing and the lesson that they will learn from past experiences, how they will take it on board in the process of the release of these prisoners, presumed members of violent extremist group, will be something that we should keep an eye on.
All right. Thank you so much, Janine, for your time.
Thank you.
That was Janine, who just joined.